What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Front Yard Fantasy Hour presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-hosts, John Garofalo and Joey Wright. What's up, boys?
What up?
What's going on?
Hey, you guys joining us today. We got a special guest, great friend of the show. If you've hung out with us on office hours towards the end of the season, you saw him a couple times. Our friend Jake Parry's joining us today. He's the host of Two Average Husbands and a content creator over at JWB Fantasy Football. And we're hyped to have you on today, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, guys. I can't tell you how many times I've bragged about being the only repeating guest on office hours this year.
It's quite the achievement.
It is
quite the achievement.
One person, and one person only can say that, Jake, and that's you.
That's what I'm saying.
Twitter. That's Twitter bio material.
You know what? Sure. I was thinking the same thing. It's going in there after this show.
Yeah,
hey, throw that on LinkedIn. I'll endorse you for it.
Perfect. Got it.
Nice. He won't even endorse me that I work here. So that's pretty good, Jake.
I don't want anyone to know.
We keep deleting him off the company page on LinkedIn, but he makes new profiles and it keeps popping up. Joey Wright works at Front Yard Fantasy. God, just
why does Joey have 15 LinkedIns?
I don't even know how he got the link to this show today. Just showed up out of nowhere.
I'll find you.
We got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Albert in here. What's up, Albert and Dane? Howdy, friends. Howdy, Dane.
How we going?
We got Maria in here. Hi, Maria. Welcome in.
Maria.
And Mr. Skipper said, yo.
Yo.
Joey's got drive. What's up, Scampers? Joey does have drive.
Yeah.
And Kelvin in here saying, y'all took my money this year.
We did?
I wish, Kelvin, if I took your money, then I don't know where it went. I wish I had your money.
Kelvin, I'm sorry.
A different group of four guys took your money.
I think so.
Yeah, it was not us. The bank account definitely could use it, but it doesn't have it.
We'd be the least intimidating group of four guys to try to roll up on someone and take their money. It'd be like immediately, I'd be like, I'm sorry, you're right. You need money.
They'd be like,
do you want my money?
Okay.
Calvin, I'm not even allowed to own a Muhammad Ali shirt. So like you could take all four of us easily. You're good.
We got Grimfan in here. What's up, Grim? Welcome, man.
Grim,
and
what's up, buddy?
Born to Laugh as well. Born to Laugh had a question for us. Wanted to know, what are your thoughts on Pepsi getting rid of Sierra Mist and replacing it with Starry Soda, which will be available in only regular and 0-calorie brands?
Great
Jake,
question, Gordon.
You're very experienced in fantasy football. This is probably your area of expertise is Pepsi products. What do you think about this change by Pepsi to get rid of a product they've had around for a while, Sierra Mist?
When it comes to Pepsi, I've always said their worst product is Sierra Mist. So I'm not going to miss it in the slightest. If I don't drink that like non-dark sodas frequently, but if I do, I always go for Sprite, specifically Sprite Zero. I'm just saying I've always preferred it to Sierra Mist. So for me, it's a non-issue. If they got to replace it, they got to replace it.
Sprite Zero over Sprite?
Yeah.
Really?
I get it.
I grew up drinking diet soda and 0-calorie stuff. So like regular soda is just way too sweet for me.
That's fair.
Even if I'm not like trying to watch what I'm consuming in any way, shape, or form, it's just way too sweet for me at this point. I can get like halfway through and I'm like, all right, I'm good for a year.
If you ever want to blow your mind, go to McDonald's and get a Sprite. It'll take the enamel off your teeth.
Knock you out.
It's insane.
Jake, you were wrong about one thing there. Propel is the worst Pepsi drink.
Propel's fine.
I like
Propel. Disgusting.
Propel's fine. Propel is grown-up Capri Sun is what Propel is. It's just Capri Sun they put into a bottle and said, hey, this is water. But it is like
and they filled it half with water too.
And then it's just this like overly sweet, kind of like a little bit too like thick. Like that's the problem with Propel is it's like it's kind of slimy. It's not just a liquid. I think it's a different state of matter. There's solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and Propel. As the fifth state of matter right there. Grimfan in here had a question for us to get started. We're going to answer this one, Grim. But before we do that, I want to remind everyone that we are going to be playing some Fantasy Fortune today. That's what Jake's here to do.
Yeah.
And if you like playing games, make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel, Front Yard Fantasy, and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you there. And we play games there every single day on our morning show. And you can check us out over there. Everything we post is going to be on that channel. And while you're here, you're likely on the FanDuel YouTube or Twitch channels already. Go ahead and hit that follow button if you're on YouTube. Hit that like button on Twitch. And if you're on Facebook, give us a like as well if you like what we're doing here. And as always, if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. We'd be more than happy to answer them for you. Grim here is talking about Chicago's #1 overall pick. It's all but assumed that they're going to trade this pick away with how hyped up this quarterback class is. And unless you believe they want to move on from Justin Fields, you got to believe that they're going to trade this pick away. So Grimfan is proposing 2 potential trading partners here. Wants to know what we think. Wants to know if Arizona could be a suitor for the Bears' number 1 pick in a D-Hop package. Try to get that number 1 pick, maybe move on from Kyler, or maybe the Colts in a Pittman package to the Bears for the pick as well. Joey, what do you think about these options here? Do you think either of these are realistic?
Before the options, like I'm just saying, like I don't buy a single thing that the Bears are going to move on from Fields. I think that news is getting out there just to, get teams hyped up to try to get that number 1 pick. Like, oh, they're going to take Stroud. No, we got to go get that number 1 pick. No. The Bears, they're keeping Fields. Out of these 2 packages, I like the Pittman trade better with picks. DeAndre Hopkins, he is elite, but he is towards the end of his career. Pittman is still, I believe, 25. So I would rather have the Colts side of this myself.
What are they're going to trade Kyler? They're going to have to if they're going to trade up to get the first pick. It seems a little less likely. That's a lot of steps to make happen. Yeah. Colts are interesting though.
Jake, you think these Colts could trade up, or are you maybe a little more bullish on it happening for Arizona?
As a Bears fan, I hope we trade up specifically with the Colts, just because I want Pittman as part of the package. I want to get Fields some weapons here. I do think we could be a suitor for D-Hop. I just don't see the Cardinals moving up to 1 if they're not replacing Kyler, even though he's hurt. Like, they just signed him that extension. There's no way they can really comfortably get that off the books. So unless they're trading up to 1 for Will Anderson, which in my opinion is the best defensive player in the draft, I see them being able to stay at 3 and get him. So I don't think that'll happen, but I could see a package of the Colts 4th overall pick, Pittman, and then in next year's 1st and 2nd as a reasonable package for the 101 if they want to go for Bryce.
That would be hot. And I agree with you about D-Hop. And I don't think the 1st overall pick or even their 2nd round pick or their 3rd round pick is going to have to be involved to get D-Hop on that team. His contract is an over $30 million contract that the Cardinals are trying to get out from under. I think we may see another trade where people are like, what the hell? Kind of like that Amari Cooper trade where it's like a 4th or a 5th for DeAndre Hopkins. And it comes with taking some of that contract money as well.
The Bears have a ton of cap, so
they do.
Jale, I'm sure what you're saying is really interesting.
I was going to say, maybe Kelvin will front the bill for DeAndre Hopkins' contract, and then another team can step in.
No, we took his money. He can't front the bill. We got America Hero in here, said, I will not hit that like button.
Whoa.
So never mind.
America.
Well, thanks, man.
I always respect an immediate back down.
Me too. That's how I live my life. Here. Hey, looking hot. Oh, man, you rock that cowboy hat better than I do.
Man.
I've got 2 angels that sit on my shoulders. That's definitely one of them. I don't know if it's the good or bad one, though. That's one of them.
It's the good advice sometimes, and it's the bad advice sometimes. We got DJ in here. What's up, DJ?
What up, DJ?
He said, hey, guys. Simon, what did you think of that Abaddon pick? Abaddon? Tell me how to say it, Jay.
It's Abaddon.
Abaddon. It was terrifying, DJ,
Yeah.
the picture that you tagged me in on Twitter. Absolutely terrifying. That picture right there.
DJ, I made him message me right after he looked at it. DJ, welcome in. Love to have you here, buddy.
We got Albert in here. What's up, Albert? Welcome in. Glad to have you
Albert?
Here. And Nadeau Chris had a question for us. Let's hit this one, and then we're going to get into our game. So what are your thoughts on all of the games? So we'll just run through them. Buffalo, Miami. Do you guys think Buffalo is going to come out on top in that one?
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yep.
And then that San Francisco-Seattle game. Our friend Coop predicted the Seattle upset, but do you guys think San Fran's going to take it home, or anyone here pulling for the Seahawks?
I think San Fran moves on to the next round.
Agreed.
I do too. Yeah, Seahawks have a chance, but I think 49ers take it.
And what about that Bengals-Ravens game? Those are the 3 games Chris is asking about here. Jake, the Bengals are big favorites, 10-point favorites in that game, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook. But I've seen some love for the Ravens coming out in the past 2 days. Some people hyping them up that maybe even with Huntley, they have a chance. You giving them any sort of chance in this one?
Not really. I think that 10-point spread is generous.
JL, as the Ravens fan here, do you agree with Jake?
I do. Wait, you mean generous in which way?
Like the Bengals are going to probably win by 21.
Yeah, if Lamar Jackson doesn't play, it's possible. You know what? I'm actually going to take the other side of this, and the reason being the defense. I think the defense could keep this game semi-close, but if Lamar's not there, they're just going to be trying to keep that under the spread. And
Kelvin in here said, bet the house on the trash Cowboys.
Kelvin, win. I got you, bro. Yeah, I got you. Never bet on the Cowboys. Big mistake. Big mistake.
Never bet on the Cowboys if you're a Cowboys fan, I think is the definite part of that one. Because then they only disappoint you once, man. If you're a Cowboys fan and you bet on them, they're going to disappoint you twice.
I feel like the streak for the Bucs is about to run out for Tom Brady.
You
Not
think so?
the Bucs, but the Tom Brady streak. He's never lost to the Cowboys. I think it's going to happen this week.
It's about time.
Yeah.
I got the Bucs.
Maybe I'm a pessimist. I'm a Bucs fan, but
I got the Bucs winning that one. I have a hard time counting out Tom Brady in the first round of the playoffs, and I know that's not the most sound analysis. I know that Cowboys team looks more complete, but it's Tom freaking Brady in the wild card round of the playoffs. I just can't pick against him. I think he's going to get it done.
I love how Jay said, calling it now, Hopkins to New England. Like that hasn't been the reports all week. Hot take, Jay.
Hey, but if it happens, Jay called it 157th. We'll have to give him credit for that. And Dame said, I always count on McCarthy with all my bets. I'm broke. Well, guys, today we brought Jake here to play a game that we call Fantasy Fortune. I'm going to pull the board up here ever so shortly. I've already pulled up the first puzzle, though, so I'm not going to pull it up quite yet. I'm going to explain the rules first. This game is a lot like the popular TV show Wheel of Fortune, except instead of spinning a wheel, contestants are going to be answering 50-50 NFL or fantasy-related trivia questions in order to guess a continent. Get your question right, you're going to get to guess a continent that you think is in the puzzle. For every instance of it that shows up, you're going to add $500 to your round bank. Now, you can do this up to 3 times in a row on your turn. Answer questions correctly, guess a letter. Answer question correctly, guess a letter. But after that third time, if you get all of them right, you will bank all of that money, but we are going to move on to the next contestant. So after that next contestant goes, we'll keep going in a circle like that. Now, during your turn, there are 2 other actions that you can take besides answering a question and solving the puzzle. You can buy a vowel, which will cost you $100 per instance of the vowel that shows up to $500. So I'm going to require a minimum of $500 in your round bank in order to buy a vowel, or you can solve the puzzle anytime except after a question has been asked. Solving the puzzle will earn you a minimum of $1,000 into your bank. That's a minimum of $1,000, not $1,000 plus whatever's in your round bank. So if you got $500, you'll earn $1,000. If you've got $1,500, you'll earn $1,500, not an additional $1,000. We'll go like this till we run out of puzzles or run out of time, at which point the person with the most money banked will be our Fantasy Fortune champion. And we'll get you that Cole's Cash Facts to you. Just send us your fax number.
Cole's Cash Facts. Cole's Cash Facts.
You got a fax machine ready to go, Jake?
I've got 3. It's a long story.
Okay, cool. We can get you the Cole's Cash much faster that way then. Otherwise, it takes a while coming through one fax machine.
Perfect.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go and pull up this puzzle and forget everything I told you about how these puzzles work, because this first one is a toss-up. Instead of asking questions, I'm going to slowly reveal letters of this NFL player's name. When you think you know who it is, say your name to buzz in. Whichever name I hear first will get to take a shot at it. Get it right, you're going to earn $500 to start you off, and you'll get to go first on our first real puzzle here. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm going to start revealing letters. Remember, say your name.
I did the chat, the private chat.
Private chat, not the comments. And everybody in the chat right now, play along with us. Throw your answers in the chat. If you get it right, we'll shout you out. If you get it wrong, we'll make fun of you. Potentially.
Name that fits. I got
okay.
Name that fits.
I'm going to start hitting the letters. If you think you know who it is, buzz in.
Joey.
Jake.
I heard Joey first. So, Joey, who do you think this is?
Oh.
Alan Lazard. Right?
Joey, this is Alan Lazard. You're going to earn $500 into your round bank. And before we move on to our next puzzle, I did want to talk a little bit about Mr. Alan Lazard. He's one of the top wide receivers that is a free agent this year. I think it's him and Juju Smith-Schuster that are kind of defining this class of free agent wide receivers this year. Joey, what are you doing with Alan Lazard in a dynasty league? He's not young. He's losing Aaron Rodgers, and he's like wide receiver 2, maybe wide receiver 1 if things break right his way. What are you thinking about him?
I think I'm holding him. I don't think he's going to be in Green Bay next year. That's for sure. After that press conference, or not whatever the interview in the locker was. I think you have to hold him because you don't know what his situation is going to be next year. So you don't want to let him go for too much, but you don't want to let him go for too little. So yeah, I'm going to hold him.
Jake, do you have any excitement for Alan Lazard potentially switching teams, or is that likely going to lower his value for you?
I think it lowers his value. I think a lot of the places he goes, he ends up as a block first wide receiver, kind of like he is, he ended up being for big stretches in Green Bay, but it'd be fun on a team like, the Ravens or the Titans as a blocker in those run schemes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'd hate it if he goes to Baltimore.
That would be such a Baltimore wide receiver. Wouldn't it, though?
That would be.
Until you said it, I hadn't thought about it.
He's going to Baltimore. I am fully convinced Alan Lazard's in Baltimore now.
They're going to pay him a lot too.
I can already see him in the jersey. Like I can just picture him in the purple. It almost looks more natural than the Packers jersey. Grimfan got it right. Dame got it right. And DJ got it right as well.
Scamper said Debo. And that's who I said. Scamper said Debo Samuel in here. And that's who I was thinking initially before you put any letters up.
It could have been Debo, except all the letters are wrong. And Dame said, not worth the Christian Kirk bag. With the way the wide receiver class is this year, though, we could see him get freaking paid. Yeah. Maybe not what Christian Kirk got, but we could see him. And Marianne, you're saying you've got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. Take lessons, Alan.
That's a Kenny Rogers song. Good job, Maria.
Well, Joe, you got that one right, which means you are going to go first in the next puzzle. Remember all the rules. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one up. And this one is, Joey, your favorite category, an NFL player movie mashup. So for those of you who have not seen this category before, this could be something like Boston Scott Pilgrim versus the World, or Dude, Where's My Derek Carr? Or like a TV show one we've done before is Tim, Pat, Trick, and Morty. So it can be combined into a name. It can be the name shoved into it. It's just going to be a name and a movie put together in a way that is probably less than appealing. You guys ready?
Yeah, before we get into that, though, whenever Dave said this, you read it, I was imagining like a Christian Kirk bag. Like I read it as almost like people have like Pikachu backpacks. It's like a backpack, but it was just Christian Kirk's head.
Does the mouth unzip?
Yeah, 100%. What else would unzip?
That's where you keep your snacks. You just start eating Cheez-Its out of Christian Kirk's mouth.
Well, like you put each line of your headphones out his nostrils, and then listen to it.
Let's make it happen. Let's contact Christian Kirk, get a collab going, and get that started.
Let's go.
New business idea. You guys were here for it. You were here first. Joey, you ready for your first question, or do you want to solve?
I kind of want to solve.
Go for it if you think you know what it is.
No, because that's a TV show.
Oh yeah, then that wouldn't be the answer. It is a movie mashup here. Joey, here's your first question.
Okay.
Who scored more PPR fantasy points during the regular season? Who scored more PPR fantasy points? Was it Jalen Waddle or was it Christian Kirk?
Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle is correct. The number 8 PPR wide receiver on the season. Which letter would you like, Joey?
T.
A T. There are no T's in this puzzle.
Can I say what I thought it was? Because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, go for it.
Fraggle Brock Purdy. That's what's in my head. Sorry.
Oh, that would have been a good one. JL, that means you're up.
The show
Fraggle Rock.
I know it's a TV show.
Never heard of that.
You never heard of Fraggle Rock?
Fraggle Rock's amazing.
No.
Oh, you got to go watch some Fraggle Rock. It's a puppet. It's a puppet thing.
It sounds ridiculous. The fact that
it is.
you haven't heard of Fluffle Fluff?
Well, I mean, JL, sometimes you haven't heard of things that people have heard of. Sometimes I haven't watched movies that everyone's watched.
So sometimes those things are named Fraggle Rock.
Jake, you're aware of Fraggle Rock, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was about to say, is this going to be 2v2 on the Fraggle Rock
banger theme song too?
2v2.
JL, it's your turn. You ready for your first question?
Yep.
Who scored more PPR fantasy points throughout the season, the whole season? Who scored more PPR fantasy points? Was it Terry McLaurin or was it Chris Olave?
McLaurin.
McLaurin is absolutely correct. Which letter would you like, JL?
Let's go with an S.
An S. There's one S in this puzzle. Going to add 500 to your round bank. Also, Joey banked that money earlier. That is the keep. JL, would you like another question? Would you like to solve or would you like to buy a vowel?
I'd like another question.
Another question for JL. Who had more PPR fantasy points? Who had more PPR fantasy points this past season? Was it Tony Pollard or was it Jamal Williams?
Ooh.
Pollard.
Pollard is correct, JL. Nice job. I thought that one was tricky.
JL.
You saw straight through it. Which letter would you like?
Second word's got to be penis, so I'm going to go with a P.
There are no P's in this puzzle. It's got to be penis, but you're going to have to spell it without the P. Jake, that means it's your turn. Would you like a question or would you like to solve this puzzle?
I'll take a question.
A question for Jake. And so far, the information you have is that the last word is not penis. My question for you is who scored more PPR fantasy points during the 2022 regular season? Who scored more PPR fantasy points? Was it DK Metcalf or was it Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It was Amon-Ra St. Brown. Which letter would you like, Jake?
I'll go with D, as in dog.
D. And there is one D in this puzzle. Going to add 500 to your round bank. Would you like to buy a vowel? Would you like your next question, or would you like to solve this puzzle?
I'll take another question.
Another question. Who had more PPR fantasy points this past season? Who had more PPR fantasy points this past season? Was it Alvin Kamara or was it AJ Dillon?
AJ Dillon.
I'm sorry. It was Alvin Kamara with more PPR fantasy points, 211.7 to AJ Dillon's 167.6, which means, Joey, we're up to you. That one was tough. The Alvin Kamara season does not feel like he scored over 200 fantasy points.
I feel like I forgot he existed this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he might not exist next year. So
I was going to say, maybe we can reach out to the NFL and say it's like he was suspended this year with how poorly he played for fantasy.
Doesn't that count?
I mean, he was suspended for me, basically.
Call it even?
I suspended him on my fantasy team, put him on my bench. Does that count? Joey, would you like a question?
Yeah,
would you like to solve?
It's a question.
Okay.
I'm going to take a question.
Who had more PPR fantasy points during the regular season? Who had more PPR fantasy points? Was it Najee Harris or was it Ezekiel Elliott?
I'm going to go Zeke.
Sorry, it was Najee Harris. Najee Harris with 223.5 to Zeke's 185.8.
Really? That much of a gap?
How much of a gap? It was a little bit surprising. JL, you ready for your next question?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Who had more PPR fantasy points during the regular season? Was it Dalvin Cook or was it Jerick McKinnon?
Cook.
It was Dalvin Cook. Which letter would you like, JL?
Let's go with an R.
An R. There's one R in this puzzle.
Gods.
Gonna add 500 to your round bank.
All right, let's get some vowels up here. Let's go with an E.
An E. There's two E's. Gonna subtract 200.
Right where I thought they were. So we don't know the second word's not penis. We just Simon just might not know how to spell it. I'm gonna go. I'll take another question.
Another question for JL. Who scored more PPR fantasy points during the regular season? Who scored more PPR fantasy points? Was it Adam Thielen or was it Chris Godwin?
Godwin.
It was Godwin. Which letter would you like, JL?
Let's go with an N.
An N. There are two N's in this puzzle. Going to add 1,000 to your round bank. This is your last opportunity to buy vowels this turn if you would like to do so, or we can go on to your final question. Or, of course, as always, you can solve.
Wait, this is my we're going into my third?
Into your third.
Okay, can I buy a vowel? Can I buy an can I buy a I? An I?
I. There is one I in this puzzle, JL. Going to subtract 100. Would you like another vowel or would you like a question?
May I buy an A?
You may buy an A. And there are two A's in this puzzle. Going to subtract another 200. 200.
200. I'll go with a question.
Okay, your last question, JL. Get this right and get the question right. You're going to bank this money regardless. Who scored more PPR fantasy points during the 2023 season? Who scored more PPR fantasy points? Was it Evan Ingram or was it George Kittle?
Ingram.
I'm sorry, JL. It was George Kittle with 200.5 to Evan Ingram's 176.9, which means
they got
Jake,
him all that 1 week.
He did. Jake, which means we're moving on to you. Would you like a question? Would you like to solve this puzzle?
I just got it too.
That puts some stress on me because I don't have it. I'll take a question.
You can also buy a vowel. That is available to you since you have some money in your bank, but your call. You want a question?
Yeah, I'll go with the question.
Okay. Who scored more PPR fantasy points during the regular season? Who scored more PPR fantasy points? Was it Cole Kmet or was it Noah Fant?
Cole Kmet.
It was Cole Kmet. Which letter would you like?
Can I have an L?
You can have an L, and there is one L in this puzzle. Going to add another 500. Jake, your options remain the same. What would you like to do?
Can I buy an O?
You can buy an O. There are two O's in this puzzle, and that is all of the vowels. What would you like to do, Jake?
Oh, got it.
I'm
damn it.
Blanking way too hard here. I'll take a question to buy myself another minute.
A question. Here's another question for you. Who scored more PPR fantasy points during the 2022 regular season? Was it Mike Evans or was it Juju Smith-Schuster?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is correct. Which letter would you like?
Can I buy a J? Or not buy a J? The J.
You can
came
have
to the right
J.
place.
I'll take
came
J.
to the
One
right
J
place,
for you. Going to add 500 to your score.
Get a free eighth with it.
Okay. There's no more vowels. So you either take your third question or solve right here. What would you like to do?
I'm blanking so hard here. It's embarrassing. I'll take the question again.
Okay. Here's the question. Who had more PPR fantasy points during the 2023 regular season? Who had more PPR fantasy points? Was it Aaron Jones or was it Travis Etienne Jr.?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones is correct. Which letter would you like, Jake?
G, please.
A G. And there is no G in this puzzle, which means you don't bank that money. It's going to go to Joey. Wow. Joey, would you like to solve? Would you like a question?
I would like to solve. It's Zooland Derwin James.
It is Zooland Derwin James is the answer to this puzzle, Joey. You got that absolutely correct. Yeah. A defensive player, got a little sneaky on there with you guys, but I thought he was a big enough name that we would be able to get that one out there.
That first word, like Shawshank, was the first thing that came to my head. I'm like, well, it can't be Shawshank because there's no redemption after this. So
I got Derwin James so early, and then I just could not figure out what the first part of that was.
And I had
right
Zoolander,
after my turn was over.
I had Zoolander in my head pretty early, but just could not think of the player.
Maybe you guys
we just need to combine. Yeah,
I'm saying. I had Zoolander. I knew it was James. I couldn't think of a something James. My brain just completely blanked on defensive players.
We had some people in the chat get this one. First Scamper said this is a doozy.
That doesn't fit.
Dame coming in with Zooland Derwin James. Same with Graham and DJ. All around the same time they figured that out.
Deem unbelievable.
With the chat W. You guys got it first. Nice job, guys. Joey, that's going to add 1,000 to your bank. Give me a nice little lead, a 1,500 to 0-0. And we're going to move on to our next puzzle.
Oh, JL didn't bank his money? I thought he did.
No, I got the last one wrong.
Oh, you got the last one wrong.
I wasn't being a jerk. I honestly thought you banked it.
Here's your next category. This is Super Bowl MVPs. So it's the last name of 4 different players who have all won the Super Bowl MVP at some point. I'll just need all 4 names like they're written up there, and it's last names only. Before we get into that, though, I did see a question from Grim in here that I thought we could get to. Grim said, where do you guys think Derek Carr is going next year, with him saying goodbye to Raider Nation yesterday? Jake, I'll start with you. If you had to predict today where Derek Carr is playing ball next year, where do you think he's starting?
I think he's going to be in Washington. Okay. I think it's the Jets are too obvious. I'm not going to say the Colts because I want them to trade with us for the first overall pick. So I'm going to go with Washington. I think it's a sleeper candidate.
You said us? What team is that?
The Bears.
Oh, the Bears. Okay.
The Bears.
Man, Joey. Commanders make so much sense, Jake. Why are you so good at this?
I have way too much free time on my hands.
It just he seems like the perfect Washington move. Like not perfect in the sense like that's going to work out, but just in the sense that that's what Washington does.
Right. It fits them to a T. They'll just take a guy that somebody else casted off and be like, we can fix him.
Yeah.
And normally
never works.
So
yeah.
What about Joey? What about Tampa Bay? If Tom Brady's not there next year, they just swap quarterbacks. Tom Brady to Las Vegas, Derek Carr to Tampa Bay.
That's what I was going to say. I really do believe that Derek Carr will be the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year. I don't think Brady will be there. It will make me happy. I think that we have a better chance of winning Super Bowls in the future with Derek Carr than we do with Tom Brady, just because of the number of years that Derek Carr will be able to play for us. And, you know, yeah, I'm trying to be nice about Brady because I don't want to say anything rude, but he's got a lot of stuff going on in his personal life that we all know about. And, you know, I think he might retire this year or go to San Francisco or go to Las Vegas. I'm tired of hearing the rumors. I want to know someone's going to be in my team for the next 5 to 6 years.
I'm with you, Joey. I'm taking Derek Carr to the Bucs if I had to put my money down somewhere today. JL, it sounded like maybe you're agreeing with Jake after he threw the Commanders into your mind.
No, I think Derek Carr will end up at a Guitar Center, most likely.
As the eyeliner?
Selling me my first credit card when I'm 18 years old. Is that what he's going to do? Getting me to sign up for a predatory credit card at 18 years old to buy a guitar?
Oh, to buy a guitar? That was like a sales
Specifically to buy a guitar, I signed up for a credit card and spent $900 on a guitar at 18 years old that I then spent the next 4 years of college paying off and never learned to play said guitar.
Exactly what Derek Carr is going to try and do.
That's his MO. It might have been Derek Carr that worked there whenever I bought the guitar. I think it was in the off season.
Will he get you to buy the protection plan on the cable?
Every time.
100% of the time. He always makes the upsell.
You don't want to spend another $5 over the next 2 or 3 years, you know?
I'm just saying.
Okay, guys. You ready for this puzzle?
Yep.
Joey, you solved that one, which means JL, you are up first. You ready?
Can you please take Jake and JL's money away? I don't even like seeing it on the board. Thank you.
That's fair.
It should have went away automatically. I don't know why that's still there.
Well, system's rigged, so what are we gonna say?
Should be.
Because it's broken. JL, would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I would like a question, Papa.
Okay. Here is your first question, JL. Who had more rushing yards during the regular season? Who had more rushing yards? Was it Justin Fields or was it Dameon Pierce?
Oh no. Did Dameon Pierce crack 1,000? I'll go with Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is correct, JL.
Hey!
Dameon Pierce did not crack 1,000, sitting down there at 939. But Justin Fields over 1,000 rushing yards, 1,143. Which letter would you like, JL?
I'm gonna go with a P.
P as in penis?
P as in penis. Yep.
Okay. There are 2 P's in this puzzle, JL. Going to add 1,000 to your round.
Second name was penis. Again.
It's coming up one of these times.
You might not have penis, but you do have PP up there, Jay. Well.
There's your PP, JL. What's next?
I thought that was funny. Because a kid calls a penis a PP.
And the last last one on there is Tinkletail as well, Joey, if that tickles your fancy. Joe, would you like another letter or another question, or do you want
another question, please?
Yes.
Here we go. Who had more rushing yards during the 2023 regular season? Who had more rushing yards? Was it Ezekiel Elliott or was it Tyler Algier?
Zeke.
I'm sorry, it was Tyler Algier breaking the 1,000-yard mark, 1,035 to Zeke's 876, which means, Jake, we're on to you. Would you like a question or would you like to solve this puzzle?
Give me a question.
Okay, a question. Who had more rushing yards during the 2023 regular season? Who had more rushing yards? Was it Austin Eckler or was it Travis Etienne?
Austin Eckler.
I'm sorry, it was Travis Etienne with 1,125 to Austin Eckler's 915, which means, Joey, we're on to you. Question?
Yep.
Okay, who had more rushing yards during the 2023 regular season? Who had more rushing yards? Was it Raheem Mostert or was it A.J. Dillon?
Raheem Mostert.
Raheem Mostert is correct, Joey. Nice job. Which letter would you like?
N.
An N as in Nancy?
Mm-hmm. I should get 3.
There's one N in this puzzle. Going to add 500 to your round bank.
Manning is not the
So
last
maybe
name.
some people in the chat that thought you had it solved don't have it so solved anymore, do you? Take another shot. They were celebrating in the chat like they got it right already. They were handing out trophies. They were
stop guessing. Everybody goes back to doing whatever they're doing.
Okay.
Joey, would you like another question?
Question. Yeah, I thought I was going to get some money on that.
Here you go. Who had more rushing yards during the 2023 regular season? Who had more rushing yards? Was it Josh Allen or was it Isaiah Pacheco?
Isaiah Pacheco.
Isaiah Pacheco's correct, but it's by only about 100 yards, a little bit less. Joey, which letter would you like?
M.
An M as in Mancy?
Yeah.
There's one M in this puzzle. Going to add another 500. Joey, this is your last opportunity to buy vowels if you would like to do so.
I'm going to take another question. I don't want to give them too much because I'm sure
Here's your question.
Wrong.
Who had more rushing yards during the 2023 regular season? Who had more rushing yards? Was it Jeff Wilson Jr. or was it Kenneth Walker III?
Rushing yards?
Rushing yards.
So Jeff Wilson or Kenneth Walker?
That is correct.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker.
And you would be correct, Joey. You got it right. Okay. The missed games didn't fool you. Which letter would you like?
R.
An R.
Why did I do
there
that?
Are no
I could have just
R's in this puzzle, which means you're not going to bank that money, Joey, which means you're on to jail.
I'm so dumb.
Also, in here, we've got Mr. Scamper saying Simon is such a meanie. And Grim said, back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board.
I deserve that.
Come on, everybody. Gotta get back to work.
Jill, you like a question?
Yeah.
Or do you want to buy a vowel? You can do that.
No.
You earned some money with your PP earlier.
No, not yet.
Okay. Who had more receiving yards during the 2022 regular season, Jill? Who had more receiving yards? Was it Stephon Diggs or was it Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Diggs.
Diggs is correct. Which letter would you like?
Let's go with a K.
A K. There's 1K. Gonna add 500 to your score.
Stupid boy, Cooper. Let's go with let's buy a vowel here. Let's go with an A.
An A. There are 2 A's in this puzzle. Going to subtract 200.
Okay, I'll take another question.
Another question. Okay, my question for you, JL, is who had more receiving yards during the 2023 regular season? Who had more receiving yards? Was it Travis Kelce or was it Tyler Lockett?
Kelce.
Kelce is correct by about 300 yards. Which letter would you like, JL?
This is where it gets tricky, man. I'm gonna go with a T.
A T. There are no T's in this puzzle.
Low T puzzle.
It's a low T puzzle. But it's a low T puzzle. Jake, I was about to give away some information about the puzzle, and then I stopped myself so quickly. Jake, would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I'll take a question.
Okay. My question for you is who had more receiving yards during the 2023 regular season? Who had more receiving yards? Was it Devonta Smith or was it Jerry Jeudy?
Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith is absolutely correct. Which letter would you like, Jake?
I'll take D as in dog.
A D as in dog, and there's 1 D in this puzzle. Going to add 500. You've now got money if you want to buy a vowel, or you can roll into your next question, or you can solve.
Can I buy an E?
You can buy an E. There are 3 instances of the letter E in here. Going to subtract 300. So now you can solve, or you can take another question.
I will take another question.
Okay. Another question. Who had more receiving yards during the 2023 regular season? Who had more receiving yards? Was it Donovan Peoples-Jones or was it Chris Olave?
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave is correct. Which letter would you like?
I'll go with L.
An L. There are 3 L's in this puzzle, Jake. Gonna add some serious money. It's your last opportunity to buy a vowel this turn if you would like to do so, or we can roll into your last question, or you can solve this puzzle.
One is throwing me off very hard.
I know the last one.
I think I do too. I'm not sure though. I'll take one more question.
One more question. Remember, get this right, get the letter right. You're going to add all this money regardless of if you solve the puzzle. Who had more receiving yards this year? Who had more receiving yards? Was it Brandon Ayuk or was it Zay Jones?
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk is correct. Which letter would you like, Jake?
S.
An S. There is 1 S in this puzzle. Can add 500. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to solve. If you think you can solve, say it. If not, you may not want to give the information to your opponents, but I'm going to start counting down. And if you get it, puzzle's over. If not, it's going to go to the next contestant.
I'm so lost. Yeah.
That's going to be it, which means we're moving on to Joey. Joey, you're making faces like maybe you think you know what it is. Would you like to solve or would you like a question?
I would like to solve.
Okay.
Cup, Foles, Flacco, and Edelman.
Cup, Foles, Flacco, Edelman is absolutely correct, Joey.
I forgot about Flacco. Right. That's who I couldn't get.
Pull Flacco out of your butt, Joey.
What? He won for your team, didn't he?
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
I was alive for that.
Joe Flacco. We had some people in the chat get it. Well, first, Grimfan said, guys, it could be Sap and not Cup. And then Amita said, never mind. Because the K went up there. Then Albert said, don't tell me Foles is one of them. And then came in Mr. Scampers and Albert both at the same time with the Cup, Foles, Flacco, Edelman. Nice job, guys.
Kudos for not going Brady and Manning because those are 2, could have thrown those in there, easy ones.
I had them in there. And then I was looking at this puzzle and I was like, this is so easy. Like with Brady and Manning in there, they're just going to knock this one out immediately. But Joey, that is going to add $1,000 to your score, bringing you to $2,500. But Jake, those L's did some work for you. You banked $2,200 this round. And JL, it's not over. You still got time.
Hi, guys.
And Dame said, I'm still printing out my trophy that Maria gave her. And I'm also going to print out a Simon crying face to put next to it.
Perfect.
I'll send you a nice Simon crying face picture. We got Easy Shoe in here saying hi. What's up, Easy Shoe?
What's up, Shoe?
Welcome.
What's up?
Oh, man.
Glad to have you here. And I'm trying to see what the answer they had at the beginning was. Yeah, Dame came in with Cup, Brady, Wilson, Manning at the very beginning is what Dame thought it was. A little tricky.
That's why I went in on the first one. I was like, okay, here we go. Nope.
And Marie said, I can't believe Simon trophy shamed me. Hey, you give away a preemptive trophy. Be prepared to get trophy shamed.
Trophy shame.
You guys ready for that next puzzle?
Let's do it.
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and load up this one. It's a new category. It is a Pokemon player mashup. So I will give some context. The only Pokemon used are the original 151. So you don't have to worry about any of the new Pokemon. It's going to be one of the OG Pokemon. And it is just a, oh wait, no, never mind. There's a full name in here. I originally had it as just the last name and changed it up a little bit. So this is a Pokemon and an NFL player smushed together, just like the movie one, but instead it's with a Pokemon.
You're just trying to get me to buy Scarlet. That's all this puzzle is, so that I'll play Pokemon. So
100%.
I can learn them.
Joey, you got that last one correct.
Yep.
Which means JL, it's your turn. Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I would like a question, please.
A question. My question for you is, who had more receiving touchdowns during the regular season? Who had more receiving touchdowns? Was it AJ Brown or was it Tyreek Hill?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll go with AJ Brown.
AJ Brown is correct with 11 to Tyreek Hill's 7. Which letter would you like, JL?
Let's go with B.
B as in boy?
B as in big boy.
There are no B's in this puzzle.
B as in
Jake. Jake, what's your familiarity with the original Pokemon? You got some familiarity or no?
Yeah, it's kind of a problem in my life.
Yes!
Just the original? Just the original.
I have, so I just got Violet. I just got a Nintendo Switch. So I'm starting to learn some of the new ones, but the 151 I got.
Nice. I got them down up until like Gen 7 is where I start losing it. But send me your friend code, Jake. Let's play some Scarlet and Violet together. And it's your turn. Would you like to solve this puzzle or would you like a question?
I will take a question.
Also, I see the chat. The words have to go in the order that they are on the board. You can't just mix up the order for your answer. So that's a very clever answer, guys. But back to the drawing board. A question for Jake. My question for you is, who had more receiving touchdowns during the 2022 regular season? Who had more receiving touchdowns? Was it Amari Cooper or was it Mike Evans?
I'm going to go Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper is correct. Oh, the chat is revolting against me today. They are just, I have made enemies of the chat. That is correct. Jake, which letter would you like?
I'll go with S.
An S. There are no S's in this puzzle. I'm so sorry. Which means we're on to Joey. Joey, would you like a question or would you like to solve this puzzle?
Pokemon. I know Pikachu. That's the only one I know. Yeah, I will question. Okay, question, yeah.
Okay, my question for you is, who had more receiving touchdowns during the regular season? Was it Jerick McKinnon or was it DK Metcalf?
Jerick McKinnon.
Jerick McKinnon had 9 receiving touchdowns to DK Metcalf's 6. Which letter would you like, Joey?
I'll go with an L.
An L. There is one L in this puzzle. Going to add 500 to your round bank, Joey. Would you like another question, or are you going to solve this one, or you want to buy a vowel?
I'm going to take a question.
A question. Who had more rushing touchdowns during the 2022 regular season? Who had more rushing touchdowns? Was it Jalen Hurts or was it Dalvin Cook?
Rushing touchdowns?
Correct.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is correct with 13 to Dalvin Cook's 8. Which letter would you like, Joey?
I'll go with a T.
A T. There are no T's in this puzzle. Jay, I know what you're about to say, but don't say it, and it's your turn. Would you like another question, or would you like to solve this puzzle? Here's your question. Who had more rushing touchdowns during the regular season? Who had more rushing touchdowns during the regular season? Was it Jamal Williams, or was it Derrick Henry?
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams is correct. He was number 1 on the season. That was really just testing if you knew that, and you knew it right away. Which letter would you like, JL?
R.
An R. There's one R in this puzzle.
Lord.
Going to add 500 to your round bank. Like another question, or would you like to solve this?
I would like to buy a vowel.
Okay.
May I have an A?
You may have an A. There's 1A in this puzzle. Subtract 100 from your round score.
I'll take another question.
Okay, another question. This is your second question, right, JL?
Yep.
Who had more rushing touchdowns during the regular season? Who had more rushing touchdowns? Was it Saquon Barkley or was it Josh Allen?
Barkley.
Barkley had 10 to Allen 7. That's correct. Which letter would you like, JL?
All right. Enough messing around. I'm going to go P.
A P.
Come on.
And there are 2 P's in this puzzle, JL. Going to add $1,000 to your round bank. This is your last opportunity to buy vowels if you would like to do so, or you can take your final question.
I would like to solve.
Okay.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
It is Jimmy Garoppolo, JL. You got that one absolutely correct. Nice job, my friend. The double P's gave away that it was Garoppolo, I'm guessing.
P's.
And then you got there. And
I got there.
In the chat, Dame said, nah, Simon, your rules stink. After they came in with the answer, Charman Derwin James.
Oh, that's good.
That is such a good one, Dame. That is such a good one.
That'd be hilarious if you use the same exact player, too.
I had all my mashups.
I had one, but the number of letters for the second one, for the second word didn't work out, and it really kind of killed my vibe there for a second.
What was it?
David Weepenbell.
Oh, that would work pretty well.
That would have been tough, though, because David Bell is not like a big, like top of mind for most people.
I know.
What about like Charmander James?
That one would be. And Grim also came in at like the same exact time. 444, both of them with Charman Derwin James. I got you. Also, Dame said, oh, I don't know that Pokemon. Which is the Pokemon? Gengar. Gengar's the Pokemon.
Oh, Squirtle.
JL got that one.
Squirtle.
There you go. You got 2 of them.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Add 1,400 to your score, JL. And we're going to move on to probably our last puzzle, unless you guys get it quickly. I'm going to go ahead and load this one up.
So what was the Pokemon's name in that last one?
Gengar.
Okay.
This is our last puzzle. JL got that one right, which means, Jake, you were going to go first here. And this puzzle category is called Rhyme Time. What'd you say?
This isn't a puzzle.
It is a
work of art.
Oh, thank you. It does look rather nice aesthetically, doesn't it?
It does.
How this works is it could be something like eating meat off the bones with Mac Jones, or drinking soda with Marcus Mariota.
Doing what with Mac Jones?
Eating meat off the bones. Joe, you don't like meat on the bones. You don't like any meat now, but even when
regardless of its proximity to bones.
Mac Jones only eats meat with bones in it, in case you guys didn't know. Mr. Scamper's in here. Dame already got a guess. Something with another thing. And Mr. Scamper said, naming names with Derwin James. Jake, would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I'll take a question.
Naming names with Derwin. What would be even funnier is if that was the actual answer and I just put it out there out loud and then went along with the puzzle like it wasn't. Jake, what I'm going to do is we're going to take a trip on over to the FanDuel Sportsbook for this one. What I want to know is, within 2, how much are the San Francisco 49ers favored over the Seattle Seahawks in this weekend's wild card game?
Ooh. 4 points.
I am sorry, Jake. The 49ers are 9.5-point favorites over the Seahawks this weekend. Wow. They are big dogs. I was shocked by that line as well, which means, Joey, we're on to you. Joey, are you ready?
I'm very ready for this next one.
Okay. What I want to know is, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, who is currently favored in their matchup? The Los Angeles Chargers or the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Jacksonville Jaguars. I think it is the Chargers.
All right, it is the Chargers, Joey. 2.5-point favorites on the road.
As soon as I said it, I knew
we're on to JL.
Woo.
JL, would you like a question?
Question me.
Also, guys, don't go in the chat. Maria, give yourself a freaking trophy for that no-letter solve. Holy cow. JL, here is your question. Within 2, how much are the Buffalo Bills favored over the Miami Dolphins in this weekend's game?
Just talked about this morning. They're favored by 13.5.
They are favored by exactly 13.5, JL. Which letter would you like?
I'll go with a T, please.
A T. There's 1 T in this puzzle. Going to add 500 to your score.
I will take another question.
Another question.
Simon.
Okay, my question for you, JL, is according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, which quarterback is projected to throw more passing yards in their game this weekend? Trevor Lawrence or Justin Herbert?
Let's go with Trevor Lawrence.
I'm sorry. It is Justin Herbert with 284.5 is the line. Trevor Lawrence at 245.5, which means, Jake, we're moving on to you. You ready for your next question, or do you want to solve this?
I'll take a question.
Okay. My question for you, Jake, is in the Minnesota Vikings New York Giants game, which player is projected to have more receiving yards? Is it Adam Thielen or is it TJ Hawkinson?
I'm going to go with Hawkinson.
Hawkinson is correct. 51.5 to Thielen's 35.5. Which letter would you like?
I'll take P as in Paul.
P as in Paul. There are no P's in this puzzle. I'm sorry, which means, Joey, would you like a question or do you want to solve this?
I want a question, please.
Okay, my question for you, Joey, is in that same game, in the New York Giants Minnesota Vikings game, who is projected to have more rushing yards? Is it Dalvin Cook or is it Saquon Barkley?
It's got to be Saquon Barkley.
It is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, Vikings are awful. Like? Their defense is so bad. I'll go with N.
An N as in Nancy?
Yeah.
There are 3 N's in this puzzle. Going to add 1,500 to your round bank. Do you want to buy a vowel? Do you want to take another question or do you want to solve this puzzle? What's it going to be, Joey?
Question, please.
Okay, here's my question for you, Joey. Is who had more passing touchdowns during the 2023 season or 2022 season? Who had more passing touchdowns? Was it Geno Smith or was it Trevor Lawrence?
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith is correct by 5 touchdowns.
He had 2 top 15 wide receivers, so took my chances there. I'm gonna go with. I've got the last name. I'm gonna go with an S.
An S. There are 2 S's in this puzzle. We're gonna add another 1,000. Joey, this is your last opportunity to buy vowels if you would like to do so, or we're gonna move on to your last question.
I'll buy an O.
An O. There are 1, 2, 3 O's in this puzzle. We're gonna subtract 300. What's next, Joey?
Oh, that doesn't fit. Question.
Okay, your last question. Get this right and get the letter right. You're going to add this to your score. Who had more passing yards during the 2023 regular season? Passing yards, not touchdowns. Was it Jared Goff or was it Aaron Rodgers?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff is correct. Which letter would you like, Joey?
I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I'll take the D.
The D. Yeah, you will. 1 D for Joey. You're going to bank that money, and you got 5 seconds to solve if you think you know it. Which means we're going to move on to JL. Jay, would you like a question?
I need a question.
Okay, here's my question. Who had more passing yards during the 2022 regular season? Who had more passing yards? Was it Derek Carr or was it Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is absolutely correct. Which letter would you like?
I'll go with a W.
A W.
Oh, there's
3 W's
that
in
was a
this
good letter.
puzzle, JL. Going to add 1,500. What do you want to do now?
I'd like to say that I made that decision knowing those other 2 W's were going to be there, but I absolutely did not. Let's go with, can I buy a vowel?
You can.
Can I buy an A?
You can buy an A. And there are 2 A's in this puzzle. We're going to subtract 200. What do you want to do now?
Can I buy an I?
You can buy an I. There's 2 I's in this puzzle. We're going to subtract another 200.
I still have vowels here, and there's still vowels on the board. So may I buy an E?
You may buy an E.
There's 1 E. And I would like to solve.
And that's the last vowel. Okay, JL, go ahead and solve it for me.
Wearing Crocs with Dawson Knox.
It is wearing Crocs with Dawson Knox. Going to bank that 1,500, JL. Nice job. And legitimately, no letters on the board.
That's crazy.
Maria
Great
came
job,
in
Maria.
with wearing Crocs with Dawson Knox. Not a single letter.
That's got to be one of
so
our more
impressive.
no-letter solves.
I think that beats Dave Kluge's Benjamin Button one because that's a no-letter solve. Like that, Maria, that's the best solve in the history of the show.
I got Dawson Knox at first, and then I just got stuck on playing blocks with Dawson.
I thought I was watching Cops with Dawson Knox, and then I was like, wait, that doesn't fit.
Watching Octopus.
With Dawson Knox and Maria in here. No, I didn't. Really? You got it. Nice job. And
Great. Maria's the winner today.
Let's go.
Yeah, Maria's the winner today.
They're putting that trophy for you. Joey, you are going to be the winner of Fantasy Fortune today. Nice job, my friend. And Jake, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come up here and hang out with us, play some Fantasy Fortune. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, as you guys
man, Jake.
If you're not already following Jake on Twitter, go and fix that right now. You can find him on Twitter at Parry_FF. And while you're on his Twitter page, head on over to the JWBFF guys as well and the 2 advertisements page. We love all the guys over there at JWB. So make sure you're supporting them and all the stuff that they're putting out over there.
We love all of them except one of them. We won't tell you who.
We will not tell you who.
I'll tell you who.
Wyatt.
We all know.
He's such a jerk.
He hits you in the face with golf balls sometimes.
Does he? Simon, can you do that thing where you put my name says Joey is the winner at the bottom?
Maybe.
I got you. I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's not going to write that.
I thrive on it. He's not. He's going to put Joey as a penis. That's what he's going to put.
Oh, I would never write that, Joey.
You think we would say penis on this show, on the FanDuel YouTube page? We would never say penis out loud here. Maria in here says, I love you all. I assume she's talking to the chat, and we love you all as well. Mr. Scampers with such an incredible solve. Guys, that is going to be it for us today. Joey is not a wiener. He is a winner instead. But we'll be back. If you want to hang out with us some more tomorrow morning from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern time over on our YouTube channel or the BSN app for the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. And we'll be back here, same time, same place next week for some more of the Front Yard Fantasy Hour, playing some more games. Jake, another big thank you for joining us today, my friend. Thank you to everybody in the chat. And shout out Joey on the W. Enjoy your wild card weekend, and we will see you guys on another time.
Bye-bye.
Adios, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.